and welcome again to AA Garden. Today we'll be looking at what we can sow or plant in March. So today we're looking at what we can sow in March. March is a good month. In my climate, the last frost is between from the 11th to the 20th of March. So at the beginning of March, that's sufficient time to get most of the seeds started. Some things we can sow directly in the ground in March, and some will still start indoor or in the polytunnel. Okay, and I have a lovely seed organizer now. First time my seeds were all over the place. So this is just a DVD case, and then when you open it up, and this is such a good organizer, you can put according to the month. So you have your seeds, then you have your seeds all organized and lovely. So that's my seed organizer. I cannot take credit for it because I was watching a fellow YouTuber called Turf Therapy. So he had it, and I'm kidnapping the idea because it's really nice. Because you know, sometimes when you open the seeds, they get all over the place. So to have a nice organizer like this, then it's really good. So March is a good month. So most of your brassicas, your cabbage, your kale, your cauliflower, all those things, you can start sowing them now because they need the length of time. So you can start harvesting in late summer, autumn, so you can have all your brassicas and things. So if you haven't got your kale and your cauliflower and your Brussels sprout and all those things, it's ideal time to get them in. If you're starting your onion from seed, this is like the last month where you can start your onions from seed, because the onion does require a lot of time. If you missed last month what to sow, when I was mentioning all the onions and everything, then you can go for onion sets and start onion sets, because that's still sufficient time to do the onion sets. So it's a good month, March. You can go outside and you can direct sow some broad bean. You can direct sow some sweet peas. You can also do some lettuce mix directly outside. Last week I sowed some carrots directly outside. I have couple potatoes in container in the polytunnel as well. So I already have things in the ground. So it's such a lovely month, and it's almost spring. So, and I'm in the garden in the video, which I haven't been in the garden in a video for a while, and I'm in sleeveless, so the weather is warming up. So it depends on the varieties of things. I have this particular sweet corn, so it depends on the variety. So this particular one is advised to be sown from March to May. So I'll be getting my sweet corn on the way. Sweet corn is so good. Then I'll be direct sowing some comfrey into the garden. So you know, comfrey is used as a natural fertilizer. So I won't put these in pots and then transplant. I'm going to direct sow these in this month. Okay, so this is March. It's a good month. With my sweet corn though, because they're still predicting some really cold nights, when I sow these, I'll be covering it over with like a clear plastic to mimic the greenhouse scenario until the sprout and things like that, because we still have to have a bit of caution. We're in the UK. March can be a freezing month, so not to put it off, but you have to have caution. Otherwise you find that you sow your seeds, they sprout up too quickly, and then you have to re-sow again and wasting your seeds. So there's still caution for certain things. And remember, I've been saying this for the last 2 months, if you haven't started your peppers, sweet pepper, hot pepper, whatever varieties, you need to get those in. Previous months I've sown loads of carrots. So I had 2 lots of carrots as well. So one was sown last week, and then I also had a lot of tomatoes that were started indoors. Those were mostly baby tomatoes, but this month is the month to plant all your tomatoes. I planted some Roma last month as well, and I think I planted some beef. So this month is any tomato you want, please start planting all your tomatoes. Okay, so whatever tomato, go for it. And then I'll be doing some okra, some ladies' fingers. All excited. I tried this last year. Unfortunately, it did not work for me. I think the mistake I made was I went to the local shop bought these, but they weren't mature enough, so the seeds weren't at the level to germinate. So at this time around, I went and I sourced some online, and these should be mature seeds. So I'll be having some okra this summer. You know, these are nice and smoothie. If you don't like the slimy texture or the taste of it, just put it in your smoothie. You're getting all the nutrients without the taste of it. So I have a go at growing some okra this year. So much things. It's basically all your main summer crops. You can start sowing them. Isn't that lovely? I've actually just sown some butter bean today. So these are some organic butter bean. Last year I had loads and loads and loads of butter bean to harvest from just one vine, because the rest of them that I sowed did not take. Only one took, and I had 3 harvests from the one vine. So I was so happy. So get your beans in. You can get your French bean, your dwarf beans. You can start sowing those as well. Then so different carrots and things. Just make sure look at them, because some carrots are ideal to late winter, early spring. So look at the guideline on your carrots, and then from now on I'll be sowing carrot every 2 to 3 weeks, right up until the end of July for those to take me over into winter. So this is the month where every 2 weeks I'll be sowing crochets, tomatoes, carrots throughout the season. Okay, so I have all of those. Then your butternut squash or your pumpkin, all those squash you can start planting now. So I have loads of pumpkin and squash seeds and all those things. Then my handy folder, I can just go through bit by bit, and my seeds are all organized. Isn't that lovely? So I have the crochets. So make sure the crochets and your eggplants, remember, as I said previously, those need the extended period so they can be like nice and sturdy before the weather change, so you can have a good crop before, you know, our short summer period expire. And with crochets you can go sow those every 2 weeks, because you know those powder will mildew, and sometimes crochets is not the best for our weather because we get a lot of rain. So I would advise you to sow crochet zucchinis every 2 weeks. Okay, so remember I mentioned all the brassicas, all of those things. It can be all year round, cheesy, cauliflower, any variety. Make sure you're sowing them now. It's almost spring. I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited. So I have different type of cabbages. Experiment. You don't have to do the same type. So I have nice round cabbage. I have elongated cabbage, and I also have red cabbage. So I have different cabbages sowing as well. Different types of cauliflower as well. I have about 4 different types of beetroot and about 4 different types of radishes. So it's best for us to experiment as well. Then if I turn my page, oh, I'm really loving my organizer. So if you turn the page over, remember to plant your chives. The bees love the blossom on the chives. So all your herbs, which I should have planted earlier, if you haven't got them in, you still can plant your herbs. Okay, so your chives, your parsley, your basils, all those things, get them in. And for saving seeds and for the bees, it's time to start planting your sunflower. Okay, so start your sunflower seed, and I'm planting 4 different varieties of carrots this year. So this is another variety of carrot I'm going to be sowing this month. I have so much things to sow. I was just inside before the video sowing loads and loads of seeds. So I started loads of things. So remember, you have your cucumbers. I planted, I sowed some of these last month. And if you look on my indoor tour updates of what's growing, you will see it coming on lovely. So I have a couple of those already established. Then I'm going to be sowing out loads more of cucumbers. I love cucumber juice. So refreshing. So I need a continuous supply of cucumbers. So those 2 have established nicely. So I'm going to sow some more this month, the beginning of this month, and the middle of the month I'll be sowing some more as well. I'm so excited. Spring is almost here. Let the gardening begin. So much things to sow. So you should have got your eggplant started already. I have 2 different varieties growing this year. All the radishes, so many radishes, whichever one you like, French breakfast, whatever it is, munchners, just normal radish, any type of radish. Just start with those at the moment. So this is a good month for most of your main crop. But remember, look at your zone that you're in. I represent US 8B here where I'm at in the UK. So you look online, you can go online, there's a website where you can type in your postcode or just the area that you're living in, and it gives you a rough idea when is your last frost date, because we don't want to waste our seeds. Seeds are expensive and precious this time. So make sure you plant according to your season, okay? So your winter gem, I've sown these from January, so these are coming up nicely as well. I think I do another set because they're really nice in salad and things like that. So I'm just going through my planning and picking out. It makes it so much easier. So all my turnips, all the turnips, you can start sowing. This is the purple top one. There's loads of different varieties out there, and that's one of the benefits of sowing from seeds. You don't have to just buy what's in the nursery. You can go out, look online, source different varieties that you don't have normally in store, and plant loads of varieties in your garden. If you haven't started your asparagus from seed, this could have been started from January, but you're still in time. We're in March, and you still can sow these asparagus. I have some in the garden in container that is started from Crown, the Asparagus Crown. So those are coming on lovely. So I didn't get to cut them last year because first year is advised to go to fern, and then the following year to start harvest. So I'm looking forward to my freshly grown asparagus in my garden, and then these probably I'll start harvesting in 3 years time because they do take time. Okay, so I have all of those things. And then this is a fancy one I've never grown before, my natural sponge. Okay, so I'll be growing some lofa, some natural sponge this year. I've literally just sown them probably half an hour before this video. So it'd be interesting to see if I can have some natural sponge to bathe with. So I'm looking forward to those. And remember, with your brassicas, those including your kale as well, make sure you have your kale. So I have my dinosaur kale, and I have the curly kale ones. I have different varieties of kale because I know kale is so good. So this is a good month too. First thing you need to do is go online, see when is your last frost date. Once you establish that, then you know if you have roughly 4 weeks to go before your last frost maximum, then you can start planting almost everything. So all your melons, I'm growing some sugar baby watermelon, because what happened, the actual big size watermelon, it takes too long to actually ripe in our climate. Therefore I'm growing the smaller one, which take less time. I've grown it before and I was successful in a polytunnel. So this month I'm sowing loads more, so I can have loads more to eat throughout the season. This is not an exhausted list. Remember, whatever you're planning to grow in 2021, March is the ideal month to sow your majority of seed. Apart from a runner bean, I've delayed putting those, sow those probably until ending part of March, because they don't like the cold at all. But apart from that, most of the main potatoes, if you're planting it outside, you probably have to wait until mid-March thereabout when the ground is tall or things like that. But if you're planting yours under cover, you can plant your potatoes now. You know, so most of the things that you're planning to have, you can start sowing them. And remember, have fun gardening. So let me know, what are you sowing in March? Or what have you sown already? I have a couple of my subscribers saying that they have started a butter bean, they have started a tomatoes, and they started loads of things. So let me know what you're sowing this month. I'm looking forward to put my comfrey in the garden because comfrey in the shop is expensive. So I'm looking forward to have it in my own garden. So if you enjoy the content of this video, please give us a thumbs up. Okay, so thanks for stopping by, and please remember to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, okay?
Like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell.